Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Boy.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
You know,
Boa
one of these
noite.
nights I just wanted to cut out and have Jason just there dancing away.
I always stop dancing just in time. Welcome to After Hours, everybody. Good to see you.
Let's talk Disney.
I am so excited to talk Disney tonight. You know why?
Tell me, my friend.
Because you got to go.
Because I was in the Magic Kingdom today, and it was amazing. And I have so much to talk about. So I hope everybody is ready to settle in for a long, long After Hours special edition.
Collin, my friend. Let's talk Disney.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun night. Lots of things going on. Obviously, we're gonna pick Jason's brain just a little bit, and hey, we got some new people in the metaphorical box over here.
Yeah.
So that's always a good day.
Do you see some friends? I saw a lot of friends on the way in here. I saw Chris Shepard. I saw Jeremy Goff. I saw Amber. I saw Joe, Mark Jones, and Lisa Milam. Oh,
The comments are coming quick tonight.
I can't believe you guys are still going. Like, these folks have been with they've been with various feeds all day long. I think some started with Lou over on the WDW radio group, and then so, of course, thank you so much for those of you who jumped over to my live show at noon today. And then I think some folks jumped back into Lou's, and I know that Robert and Alyssa were doing some stuff with Here with the Ears, both this morning and then later this afternoon. So it was a busy day for a lot of people.
For sure, definitely a busy day.
You know one thing, Jason. That is, I already saw some comments, and people are noticing your tan. It was probably a hot
I
day.
wouldn't necessarily call it a tan per se. I think I'd call it irresponsible.
He went straight to burn.
This is the face of responsibility, is what this is. I didn't bring my sunblock. I am out of my normal mode where I carry sunblock in my bag, in my gear bag, and I didn't have it stocked properly. And then no one else in my family had. Michelle didn't have any sunblock, and Henry, of course, is, he's 14. So I mean, what 14-year-old carries around? Collin doesn't even carry around sunblock. Whenever we're in the parks, I say, "Hey, Collin, you want some sunblock?" He's like, "Nah, I'm good with skin cancer. It's all good. It's fine.
It's a bad habit.
It's all fine." So no, yeah. So this is not.
You're red, my friend. You're red.
No, it's.
But let me ask one thing. It's important to after hours to everybody here is if our friends in Facebook could share the after hours show, share our show today would be great. And our friends in YouTube, don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe us. It is pretty important for us here.
Make sure you ring the bell.
Yeah, and the bell. Yes, it's not only subscribe. The little bell that makes your have the the alerts when we're live. So it's pretty important for us.
It's the little bell that makes Carlos happy. Every time the bell rings, Carlos gets just a little happier.
And subscribing in YouTube, we need to change that URL, so it's important. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I do have here in my hand is the copy for tonight, top 10 list. Well, tonight, top 10 list from the home office in Winter Garden, Florida. It's, let me show here, top 10 most common phrases heard in the Disney parks this summer. Now you're back, Colin.
Yeah, literally somebody was locked out of the house. I'm like, how did you manage to do that?
Colin, he's spinning plates back there. He's spinning plates.
Kind of by default.
So, top 10 phrases that you can hear this summer in Disney parks.
Particularly this summer.
Particularly this summer, yes.
Very particularly.
So, let's start with Colin.
No,
All right.
I think
Oh,
I
We're gonna have
start.
Jason start.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yes.
think
Today is Jason's
You'll see
turn.
why here in just a minute.
Yeah, we'll see why here in just a minute. All right.
So,
Okay, here we go.
Number 10.
Number 10. Is it raining or is that my sweat? I actually said that today, by the way. I said a couple things on here today.
It's pretty authentic. All right, number 9. Oh, look. There's Jason standing in front of the Mexico Pavilion. Again.
I needed that.
Okay.
Number 8.
Next Wednesday. Number 8. Who forgot to put sunscreen on the castle?
Number
I gotta
7.
say, it wasn't. I know we'll get there, but like, it wasn't as bad in person as.
It wasn't as bad. Still bad, just not as
Number
bad.
7, Colin.
This queue is so roomy. It's true.
It is actually very true. It is very
Yeah,
true.
we
Very
will
roomy.
discuss that. Yeah. 6.
I can't even read it.
At least it's a moist heat. Is that a sizzle? Is that
It's a
Is that,
sizzle.
is that what it was?
I got it.
Cooking bacon on the corner over here.
He's got a little George Foreman grill on the floor. Don't step on it.
Number 5.
New Animal Kingdom signs have been installed which read, "Watch your step. Beware of melting pavement."
Yeah. True.
True.
Yeah.
Number 4.
This attraction is sponsored by Purell.
Yeah, very true. Number 3.
Is my nose showing? That shouldn't be as funny as it is.
Sometimes I wanted to say, pardon me, sir, but your nose is showing.
Number 2.
Keep the pen.
Oh gosh. Number 1.
Number 1.
Johnny, don't lick the plexiglass.
Seriously, Johnny, do not look at plexiglass.
Oh my gosh.
I think that might have been one of our best ones yet.
Well, we think so. They're still commenting on my sunburn. This is a problem. I'm gonna scroll. Oh no, that's just earlier.
Oh, it's your turn now. You know, there's a lot of things that but I think it's better than the plant on your back, and that still follows me.
It's better than the Haunted Mansion ridicule too. So
Yeah, each one of us has, it's stuff.
Jeremy says number 10. Jason. Well, this is me. My sunburn got a sunburn. Yes. Guess who's not going to forget sunblock the rest of the summer?
just coat half your face. That's all you need.
Mark my words. I'm gonna have it with that zinc oxide, whatever that stuff is. You
Like the lifeguards.
Yeah, exactly.
His whole face, though.
The world's first lifeguard. Like, seriously, dude, you're not a lifeguard.
You just get a visor, like covers half your face.
Oh, one of those visors. Colin will have no idea what I'm talking. Carlos, do you remember back in the 70s when they had the visor with the colored rim?
It's because it's out of my reach now, but I do have a Disneyland cap that has that blue.
Yes, that's the. Yo, I need that.
It is, and I just bought it. It's not something old. I just bought.
How is that not on your merchandise list last week?
No, because
he has one.
Because I was trying to go general, and then
Well, we know you in general. John Sicari would not
John busted me.
get that. Yeah.
If you missed that show, you got to go back and watch that one. That was a good one.
That was a
fun.
good one. That was
Don't go now.
No, go later.
no, not later yet. Jason, now is the time.
Now is the best time.
And today's news of the week will be something that is totally based on Jason's experience in the park, and then actually me and Collin would save most of the questions for this moment now, because there are a lot of things we want to learn, just for you to understand. Jason is in Orlando, Collin is in Kentucky, and I am in Miami. So I'm gonna be meeting our friends in Orlando next week, and I know that Collin will be also
probably. I think it's the next week or the week after. It's
the week after, and I'm gonna be back. I'll go back to Orlando just to meet Collin. I miss Collin. Jason, I saw 2 weeks.
It's been too long.
Yeah,
at this point.
Jason
What are
saw
you trying
2.
to say? Like, what?
I see Jason a lot though.
Couldn't you just say, I miss you guys?
I
Like,
miss you all,
guys.
always.
I mean, what is this
Always.
singling out thing?
But it's been a long time that I don't see Collin. The last time we saw Collin was in San Diego in
February.
beginning of March was March
very beginning of
2nd,
March,
I think.
I think you mean the last time you hugged Collin.
Yes.
Is what I think you mean. 'Cause
But
you see
actually,
Collin a lot.
after
Like 2
that,
times a
there
week.
was no hug. And actually, was the last time probably I hugged you too, Jason, because there was.
Oh,
Touchy.
we're very
But
touchy feely.
I was talking about hugs and kisses.
What else do we want to share with people today?
I will start with my news. I have a little bit of a news, and actually, I just want to comment about the amazing experience that all of us here, we had last Monday recording the podcast episode with Lou, Lisa, and Becky, and it was an amazing experience. I have to tell you guys that we had a lot of fun recording that, and
for sure.
I think you can show a little bit a lot of it in the episode itself. So just let me do a shameless plug. And a big shout out to our friend Lou Mongiallo, and for the DW radio. You can watch, you can hear the episode 594, the one with Walt. You just need to go to www.radio.com/594, and please don't forget to watch Lou's live every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Thank you, Lou. It was
Eastern
time. Yes.
Yeah. It was a fun show. It was something that we got to dive into, talking about the one thing we'd ask Walt Disney in various situations, the one thing we'd take him to, and various things. It was a lot of fun.
Too. Don't spoil.
Yeah, I won't
episode
spoil
2.
any of that.
No, the only thing I will spoil a little
but-
bit is to explain that the right pronunciation of buffet is buffet. So it is.
What?
It is a French. This is a French word. I had
Where
a
did
little.
that even come from?
I had a little bit of people ask me why you said buffet, because and then that's the missing of a Latin background with this. So it's for me it's hard to say buffet. It's buffet. It's just
Good to
explain.
know. Learn something new every day.
The more you know. Dun, 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 dun.
Collin,
Okay.
do you have anything from your end?
I don't. Not as far as news stories go, but we can dive right into Jason telling us some of the experience from
Well, no,
the
let's
day.
hear what you have on your end, Colin.
Yeah.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Don't go there.
Don't worry.
There was not. I thought there was something regarding reservations. Nothing from the NBA. It's going to
Oh,
be.
he
the-
always
heard
has
anything
NBA
more.
news. It wouldn't be a
It's really
Thursday
weird.
without Colin's NBA news.
Yeah, there's been nothing real new. I know players are upset
I
about
have,
it.
I have a mea culpa. So I
What does
heard.
that mean?
Well, we're also going to get Colin's dictionary. So we have. So I mean, I didn't see it with my own eyes, but somebody told somebody that I heard that they did see the Disney cast members carrying in or moving in like extra large mattresses into the
You're
Grand
kidding.
Floridian.
So he was right.
And I just have to say, like, I have to come out and say,
you're
Carlos,
so mean.
I'm so sorry. Because I doubted you. I did.
I still doubt him.
It didn't seem realistic to me because I was like, you can't just look. I mean, I'm not like a bed aficionado or anything. I'm not like a bed genius or something. But like, I'm pretty sure you can't just take like an extra big mattress and stick it on like the same size platform. Like you need like an extra size platform. So to me, in my mind, I was like,
over the ends, yeah,
that's like a lot, right? Unless they prop it up with like some boxes or something. But
cardboard folds out.
Who knows? But yeah, so Carlos, I do owe you somewhat of an apology because
only if it turns
no,
out
you want me a
right.
picture. I want to see a picture of that.
Yeah, I want a picture before I let
This is
him
your
wear it.
news. This was your thing. Like I don't. Okay, fine.
I would try to get a picture of that. Jason,
yes, sir.
Try to just a brief introduction from your experience. How was your experience today? Tell us.
My experience was fantastic. So we had a lovely breakfast at Kona this morning. Michelle and Henry and myself. Alex slept in. Too bad, Alex. I do want to say that we made a mistake. I think a rookie mistake at Kona. And all three of us ordered Tonga toast. Now I don't understand why that happened. Because if you've ever had Tonga toast, like you're not going to finish the Tonga toast. It's going to be like a brick sitting in your stomach. So
It's a good brick though.
Word to the wise.
It's an amazing brick.
The move is to order Tonga toast, the macadamia nut pancakes, and then get some sort of egg dish or something. Like I think that's the move. Anyway, so moving on. After the lovely breakfast at Kona, we made our way over to the TTC, where we did not see Carlos escorting Walt onto the monorail, but we did see a lot of people in the monorail line. I don't know if are you going to put any of those pictures up, Carlos, or are we going to just worry about it?
No action up.
So we instead of taking the monorail line looked a little long. They were physical spacing, doing this physical distancing. We decided to take the ferry, and they were running 3 ferries at a time. So that was good.
Rare.
It moved a lot of people pretty quickly, but they needed to because there are not only is the queue well spaced, and they have the little dots or the large dots on the ground so that your group stays on a dot and stays spaced apart appropriately. But then when you get onto the ferry itself, there are also dots on the floor, and you are instructed to make sure your group stays on the dot. And there's a lot of space. I mean, like much more than 6 feet between those dots. I don't know how many people would ordinarily be on the ferry as compared to this, but it seems like this was probably about at most 25% capacity. Compared to what it would normally be.
And it's worth noting he walked over there because the smaller boats are not running, correct?
That's correct. At that time, neither the monorail nor the ferries were running from the Polynesian. The monorail was running past, but it didn't seem to be stopping, and they weren't allowing people out on the platform. I did hear that changed later in the day, but
including the ferries, the little boats.
No, we never saw any small ferries. But later in the day that the monorail was running. But then when we left the park around, I don't remember what time it was, 4-ish, 3:30, 4 o'clock. When we left the park, the resort monorail entrance was closed off at the Magic Kingdom. So I don't. But we did when we passed through the Grand Floridian on the TTC monorail. We did see people up there, like on the platform waiting. So maybe they were bringing people in from resorts, but I have no idea. If you're staying at the Grand Floridian, I would love to know, or somebody knows, how did you get back?
Very carefully.
I hope you're not walking from the TTC. I mean, it's good exercise, but I hope you're not walking from the TTC back to the Grand Floridian, or I hope that's not the expectation. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that situation is. Anyway, got over there. So I also have to say, let me back up even further. As I shared with Lou Mangello earlier today, my teary moment for me, my like truly teary moment, was on the way to the park when I passed the cast member buses.
Okay.
You got real at that point.
Yeah. I mean, because it was living in the area, it wasn't like I was in or around Disney property a lot during the shutdown, but I was there a few times more recently, and it was just weird because there was no activity, no one in the cast parking lot, no buses. It was just odd. So to see that amount of activity, like to see all of that happening, I mean, I got goosebumps. I started tearing up. Thank goodness I was wearing sunglasses.
So your kid didn't make fun of you.
Anyway, and then the second time was when I walked through the gates.
Oh, really?
Or when I walked under the train station. You kind of get the well, I mean, I think I could have held it together, but you get the reveal, and then this cast member, this nice, like, friendly cast member says, "Welcome home."
Oh my gosh.
Carlos is gonna cry now.
No, I mean, yeah.
And I was like, okay, that was tough also, but.
Did you try to hug? No, you can't.
No hugs. I saved them for you, Carlos. What are you talking about? It was lovely. It was wonderful, and it was empty. I mean, look, it felt like a lot of people were on the ferry. It felt like there were a lot of people getting onto the monorail. And look, I mean, there was a lot of people, but once you got into the park, it hits you as to how much how significantly reduced the attendance level was deliberately. We know because we have a lot of friends who are annual pass holders who are also local who were not able to secure reservation for the pass holder preview.
Yeah, I think they were gone in less than 35, 40 minutes, something like that.
So they definitely were limiting that number. And I don't know whether that number was limited beyond, like whether it was even more restricted than what it will be on Saturday.
Yeah, that's kind of my question on it, because I know there were more people today apparently than the cast member preview yesterday. And somebody had said that the guesstimate was around 10,000 on the cast member preview yesterday, and the go live today, there was the speculation again. Disney's never going to tell you the exact number. It was like 20,000 roughly. Because you could tell on like videos and stuff, it was more crowded today than it was yesterday, but like not by a substantial margin, which is a good thing. But my hope is that Disney kind of rolls it out in stages and they slowly open up more and more space. So one, they can test things easier, and two, it spreads people out faster for a longer period of time, and then slowly kind of ease into their flow, which is probably what they're going to do, if I had to guess.
But one thing, Jason, and there's many questions, but one thing that I would like to hear from you was your reaction when it comes to the castle and the new colors and everything. And how was it?
Are you asking me this because I've maybe made some remarks about
how terrible it
No,
looked?
I just want to because I don't want to preempt that, but I've heard many things. I heard many things, and I want to hear from you because I trust and because my opinion, is not gonna work. I'm colorblind, so for me it's okay. But
he doesn't care.
It looks great.
It looks great.
Still
Brown, but it looks great. So I gotta say, like, so when you see it head on Main Street, with a gorgeous Florida blue sky backdrop, it looks nice. It looks, I mean, the blue pops, the gold pop. It's really beautiful. Actually, I don't even think I really noticed the pink that much from the town square area.
And it's worth noting they're still not done with it. Apparently,
it's pretty done. I mean, it's
pictures that are shown today. Like the bottom of it's still getting more.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty far done, but it's pretty far along. But they are doing some additional work. But from the back or from an oblique angle, I don't like it. And look, I know it doesn't matter what I like. It's fine. I just find it a little too princessy. And I get it. It's Cinderella's castle. Like what are you going to do? It's not like Jason's castle, although that would be cool. And it wouldn't be.
Can you imagine, Collin?
But yeah, it's Jason's magic castle. Welcome.
Somebody get him a crown.
No one wants to walk through that castle. All right, so it's just a little pink. But from the front, it's pretty. It's pretty. That's what I have to say. Like it's pretty.
Yeah, realistically, it'll probably fade a little bit over time too, just because the nature of it being in the sun all the time. But that might be partially wishful thinking.
My concern remains, and I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but and I know it's going to be some time before we have projection shows resuming, but I do wonder.
How it'll affect it.
They're going to have to adjust the colors of the projections because it's not going to be the same. I mean, if you think about it, if you're showing a movie on a white screen and then you switch the screen out or even a gray
color,
screen, switch the screen out for something with a little pink in it, you got to adjust the colors or things are going to look differently. But that's that's somebody else's problem.
But from the comments I heard, I think that the pink is not the color that you have an issue, but everybody commented about the blue, how the blue pops up in the castle now. I don't know if it was the same thing for you, Jason.
Oh yeah, the blue's gorgeous. The blue's gorgeous, and in my opinion, is they could have done the blue and they could have done the gold and they could have called it a day. But
somebody said they did the turrets behind it too.
Mm-hmm.
At the entrance to New Fantasyland, that one looks a little brash to me, but. We'll find out.
I didn't notice that well, but we didn't really venture into New Fantasyland other than to ride Mine Train.
But one thing, let me ask about the things that I really missed that I want to go straight to those experience. How was Casey's?
Casey's
not open.
I know.
Casey's is closed. Thanks, Carlos.
How was the People Mover? Close to?
Close. Closed, Carlos.
No, and that's...
It was running. So it was running. So I had hope. I was like, oh, look, maybe it's just not popular because, it wasn't that crowded and it is the People Mover. And so people don't know what they're missing. So I I'm getting over to it. Because Michelle and went to get onto, they went on Space Mountain. And I said, oh, I'm gonna come the People Mover while you do that, right? While I'm all excited. So
not today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a sign, not today.
But
so then I just had to go on Carousel of Progress, of course.
But
which I'm actually a little surprised is open, but they never fill the theater anyway.
So Carousel of Progress, interestingly enough, Carousel of Progress is every other row is blocked. So they hold each row, and then within the rows, and I have a picture of this too that I can share. But within the rows, there are sections. It's basically sections of 4, and then 4 that can sit, 4 like open seats, and then 3 blocked seats, and then so it's 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, and then that continues across the row, and so you are really well spaced, and today it wasn't even like all of those seats were full by any stretch.
Right. Yeah.
But I got to tell you, and I don't know if they've done some work on it. I don't know. It was dead silent in the theater, and you could hear everything. You could even hear, like, I kid you not, like the gear moving the dog's tail. Like you could hear the gear. Like it was that.
It's not by design.
Quiet. It was super odd. And that's the other thing I want to comment on. So to me, this is the best thing about today. okay, maybe almost the best thing. You know how like when you're in Disney World, and it doesn't matter even if it's not a very crowded day, you kind of have to look where you're going, right? Because you're gonna bump
Jason's
into
over there wandering
especially
aimlessly.
nowadays where everybody, like, people are like Collin or like looking at their phone all the time. And they're like Snapchatting people and stuff.
Just as guilty as me.
TikTok all the time. It's like TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. He sounds like that clock in the Haunted Mansion. So we were walking, and I said to Michelle, like, I am noticing things that I have not noticed before. I'm looking at plant boxes, like the flower boxes on in the windows. I'm looking at the coloring of rooftops. I'm like, and then it occurred to me, it's because I can look around. I'm not worried about running into anybody because people, not only was it not that crowded, but people are actually there doing their part to keep the distance as well. And so it was like, not as the queue is not just roomy. It's like the whole boulevard is roomy.
So when Jason falls in a fountain or over into a shrub or something like that, we know what happened.
Lisa Glassner with the Castle Run posted on, I believe on Instagram, but maybe also on her Facebook page, a beautiful picture of the castle from on the backside, and you can see it. Like, it's a really good example of just how low the crowd levels were, because you don't get that opportunity like that, not in the middle of the day.
And I was when I point out about the things that are closed, and there's a rational and a good reason for those experience being closed. But Jason, what was the thing that you missed the most, if there wasn't any? Probably, I don't know. If there's anything that to say you miss and it makes a different experience right now or not?
I miss the People Mover, Carlos.
Well, was there anything in particular that was closed that you didn't expect to be closed?
Yes.
I didn't.
Other than the People Mover.
Yes. Biggest disappointment for me actually was Harbor House being closed.
Really?
Oh, really?
That's a little surprising.
Are you surprised that it was like that I was affected by it, or are you surprised that it was closed?
I was surprised it was closed.
Yes, it was closed.
That's one of the bigger table service restaurants, which kind of surprises me.
It was odd. They were taking at let's see. So at Liberty Tree Tavern, they were practically it was like the NBA experience. Like Liberty Tree Tavern was like the NBA experience in terms of like the cast members standing outside trying to like, hey, come on in. Like, it's got plenty of stuff on sale in here. Like, it was that kind of.
You know, one thing,
there was bowl of mashed potatoes.
Our audience was saying to me that I was mean.
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
Now the mean one came back because that was mean.
Oh, wait, I don't like it. Like, what is this? Angela, she says, when Jason falls into a fountain, Collin will have his opportunity to take a puddle picture.
Oh, yep.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good. I might even get video.
but Jason, no. I'm trying to the reason I'm trying to. There's one thing that happens to me, particularly because I have the responsibility to create content for a public that is kind of far away from here, and a lot of people is asking me about how much different is the experience right now. So, and for me, it's really difficult because my kind of experience is almost, I would not say a local, but someone that is really close to Disney. So for me, I'm not the one that goes crazy about going to many different rides. I like to enjoy the park in a nice, calm way. But Jason, is there anything that you can tell that probably the experience from someone that, for instance, someone that is coming for the first time to Disney World, is this the right time, or do you think that they should wait a little bit for later?
Well, couple of caveats first. Number one, this was a pass holder preview.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it will be representative of what the new normal is. I don't even know that the new normal will be static. I think that they may be adjusting crowd levels and so forth, and also things being open. I suspect that in moving forward, maybe even as soon as Saturday, a lot of the things that I saw were closed today, and there weren't a lot. It was just just a few places. So a lot of things that were closed today will be open. That's my speculation. So that's the first thing. Number two, as it relates to whether this is the appropriate time to come, I think that is like very, very much a personal decision that people need to first and foremost take their own health into account, not just in terms of actually their current state of health, but also their susceptibility. I think they have to take into account rules of their own local jurisdictions in terms of quarantine rules and things like that. So because you can go to Disney World doesn't mean when you come back things you may have to quarantine. There may be work restrictions that you have. Your employer may actually have restrictions based on whether you've traveled or not. So all of those sorts of things you have to consider. All of that being said, maybe with the exception of Disney Springs, this feels super safe.
Good.
And because every once you saw a couple people with them, they play with their masks, their nose is showing at one point or something, but other than that, a few exceptions, people are wearing their masks. Number one. Okay, and if everybody's wearing their masks, we know that is a huge mitigating factor. There are hand sanitizing stations everywhere. I mean, I would like to see the warehouse, probably the Raiders of the Lost Ark style warehouse that is storing the vast amounts, the tubs of hand sanitizer, because, they must have a small army of elves, too, that are running around,
what do you do all day? I replace hand sanitizers.
I didn't. Here's the thing.
I was hired for this job 3 weeks ago.
we only encountered all day long. We encountered one hand sanitizer that was empty. That was by Splash Mountain. Don't worry, because in another 20 feet you're going to have another hand sanitizer, right? But the way the cast member there was reacting to it, it sounds like he was calling in a code, like something from Monsters Inc. What was the code number when they
2319?
Yeah, it was he's calling it's 2319. I had 2319. Kid you not, on his radio calling in the fact that the hand sanitizer was out. And if I had stuck around, I probably should have. I would have seen this rapid response team descend upon, maybe from a helicopter, coming down.
Comes completely.
It is that level. It's incredible, right? It's incredible. Disney's doing a great job that way. So I just go back to the second point, whether if you are concerned about your health or the health of people around you, I don't think it's a good time to go. If you're concerned, if you're scared, if you're anxious, if you actually do have some underlying health conditions,
on top of that, yeah.
But I would say that about going anywhere. What I will tell you is that my experience, and I'm in Florida, I'm in Orlando. I'm not quite as bad as where Carlos is, but Orlando's Orange County is not great. I feel safer on Disney property than I do going to the gas station, going to the grocery store. I don't even go to the grocery store because I don't like the experience there.
Of course, that hasn't changed.
No, but I'm saying it's not. It doesn't feel safe.
The grocery store.
There's nowhere off of Disney property, nowhere that I have gone that I feel safe other than my own home or a friend's home.
And Jason, there was a question here. Actually, Marie said, "Do you feel Disney Springs is not safe?" I don't think that you
I feel
mentioned.
Disney Springs is actually the epitome of safe. Disney Springs, the level of seriousness that the restaurants, and these are non-Disney restaurants, the seriousness that they are taking. It is by far the most careful assortment of businesses I've seen anywhere. It's incredible. It's incredible. So that second caveat out of the way, it's maybe the best time to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, so listen to it. Like, that's how good this experience was today. I don't know whether today will be representative from a crowd standpoint as what we'll experience Saturday or Sunday or next week or August and so forth. But I can tell you if it's even just somewhat similar to what my experience was like today, it's the perfect time to go. Mm-hmm. Assuming you're healthy and all those other things, right? The crowd levels, I was nervous that without there being a fast pass system, that it would be kind of a mess, long lines and so forth. It's exactly the opposite. The queues are the organization from a safety standpoint within the queues is top notch, and everyone was following the rules. Not one single group did I see not follow the rules in terms of staying on your dial. We've all been trained, maybe Americans are like second to Brits and Germans, but like we queue really well, right? Like, but even at Disney,
but you can stand there and do nothing real well.
But even in Disney, like you end up with every once in a while that group, that person is like kind of up on your heels, that's like getting a little too close. None of that is happening. It's glorious. It's wonderful. And then there's plexiglass in the queues where you would kind of zip back and forth. There's plexiglass between those rows, so you're further isolated. So you're not gonna, as long as no one, just make sure no one licks or kisses the plexiglass. But I did see smudges.
Like we mentioned earlier.
I did see some nasty looking smudges on the plexiglass. I'm like, really? Like,
for one day.
But Jason, Amber was asking, what is the longest wait time you had today? And that's another thing I wanted to know about the wait times.
And before he answers that, if anybody else has comments, go ahead and throw them in the comment section. I'll try to watch as he tries to answer this.
Because I did see a couple that I want to talk about too. The longest wait time was Mine Train. It was the first attraction that we did. And that wait time, the posted time, I believe, was 30 minutes. And Henry, none of us timed it. We should have, but we were trying to enjoy the day. But our guesstimation, it was more like 25 or maybe even 20 minutes in the line. And it was great.
So another question that came through was, did you see any of the parades? It's in quotes because they're not real parades, but on Main Street or in the areas, and what you thought of them.
So here's the thing. I'm not a parade guy.
I'm not either.
I can't.
I'm a parade guy.
Nobody's shocked by that.
To me, parades are like the equivalent of speed bumps on like the neighborhood street. Like, you're necessary, but oh my God, here we go again, right? Like, that's how I feel about parades. I'm sorry, it's true. Main Street Electrical Parade, you come back, I will camp out for hours to watch you. But otherwise, I'm kind of like, all right. But. And mostly it is because of the disruptiveness of it. Like, it's no fun walking down Main Street to me when there's a parade coming or people are getting ready for a parade. But these pop-up parades, these like pop-up things where they send one float out, they are fantastic.
Good.
They're the best. I'm like, why? Why haven't they done this before? This is like the best idea ever. The only thing I can think of is that the crowd levels are usually too high to just send like a singular float out and expect,
without
the
people
paths
getting
to
out
clear.
of the way. Yeah.
But as long as the crowd levels are relatively low, these are fantastic. The music is great. I mean, like really good. The character interactions are wonderful. It feels. I tell you what. You know what it feels like? It reminds me of Disneyland. Where you just have the wandering characters, and they just wander around and say hi to people and do funny things. And and most of the time it's not a big deal. People, they stop and say hi, and then they move along. There's not a big issue with that. That was how these floats felt. Like when the singular float would come out, they just kind of made their way down through the park, down Main Street. And it's lovely. I mean, it's really, really cool. I actually took some pictures and videos of these floats. Like, I don't do that.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He runs the other direction usually.
And I love this. We'll talk about the other stuff later. There was another question about. Sorry, you probably have it, Colin. You have.
I didn't see another one come across.
Well, Jeremy was asking about Jungle Cruise. We didn't do Jungle Cruise because we were going to be cutting it close, to the lunch break. So because it was like 11:20 or so, and they told us it was like a 30-minute wait, which I didn't really believe based on what I was seeing, but I didn't want to cut it that close. So we did not ride Jungle Cruise, but I will. I'm going to do that next week for sure.
How was Haunted Mansion?
Haunted Mansion?
Yes.
Somebody said the stretching room's just open, right?
The stretching room is just open, and that was a surprise, but not really. Like it happened. You walk in. Oh, first of all, here's the thing. I took a picture of this too. The standby line sign said 5 minutes. I'm like, when does that happen?
Anymore, it used to happen all the time.
then I'm walking. It's not even 5 minutes. Like,
it takes you that long to walk up there.
We literally walked on. Mm-hmm. I never stopped moving, and when you get to the stretching room, it's just kind of roped, but they have at least roped it so they kind of have you meander a little bit through, so you spend just a hint of time in there instead of just walking in a straight line. But I mean, so that's something that I miss, but I totally understand it, and yes, and I love you. Stretching room. Let's understand this. I love you, stretching room. Like, I really enjoy you, stretching room. I also especially enjoy showing off, knowing where to stand under the parasol.
Yeah.
Or it's like I always seem to impress the people I'm with. Right? I miss that. Stretching room. We will meet again one day. But it's really nice to walk on Haunted Mansion.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a walk on Haunted Mansion. It's fantastic. So,
yeah. To me, it sounds like the crowds were very similar to after hours events, at least Villains after hours, because it was the same way. I mean, the longest wait you saw was 35 minutes, and that was normally for the very top tier attractions that are normally well over an hour, which is good. Makes the experience better, even though there's less people and less things to do per se.
Yeah. The one thing I missed, I didn't see, and I think at least for the cast member preview, there was the marching band.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody posted the marching band, and I didn't get to see the marching band. I didn't get to see the drums. I didn't get to see the tuba. I didn't get to see the all the fun stuff in the marching band. But other than that, I felt like I was seeing stuff that I don't usually get to see. I mean, it was really. And the Country Bears were out, but they were waving from an elevated position atop the Country Bear Jamboree building. Let's see, who else was that? There were just there's these cool, goofy kind of pop-up parade. I actually I think there was a little snippet of that on the lunch break lunch break live video.
How big was Space Mountain time?
I didn't ride Space Mountain, but Michelle and Henry reported that it was about 20 minutes.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Nope. No, I mean, look, and I know we could go on all night. I know we have a lot more to get to. And I'd be happy, I'll talk more about it tomorrow and here at the Magic's lunch break tomorrow. But yeah, I'd be happy to answer questions also. If you want to post questions over on the After Hours Facebook group, I would love to. Maybe Colin can. What's our URL for that, Colin?
We don't have a Facebook group yet.
I think we do not for the Facebook page.
The Facebook page, it's /AFT hours, I think, or no.
AFT hours.
I'll
live.
check for us. Is it? It's After Hours Live. Okay, so
yes.
Facebook.com/After Hours Live. I made it, and then I couldn't remember.
That's why I asked you.
I know that you made it.
So if you want to head on over to the After Hours page and post a question, I'll try to answer them there, or you can, or on Here with the Magic's page, I can answered some questions for you.
And for the record, our goal is to have a group soon. We're working on that.
I know. I keep saying we need a group. We need a group. We need a group hug, but we also need a group.
Buddies, now is the time?
Now is the best time.
Okay, so this week's top 5, I love this one. And it's difficult, but I love this one. Top 5 attraction scenes.
So how did you find it difficult? Top 5 attraction scenes. How did you find that?
It's not difficult. No, for me, for instance, the last one, the merchandise, was difficult because it's not something that I pay that. It's not that I don't pay attention, but it's not something that I usually focused. Okay. This one is something that I'm really focusing to find the top 5 ones was really difficult.
So you mean narrowing it down to 5 was
yes,
difficult?
Yes,
yeah, okay. I'm with you there.
Mine were hard to pinpoint. I mean, I struggled with this a little bit, but it was mostly because I didn't have any idea how I wanted to order these. I liked them all equally, for lack of a better word.
You have to keep your eyes open on the attractions, Colin.
That's true.
If you want to.
Okay. You'll notice there's a trend on a lot of these.
Yeah, I noticed there were no roller coaster scenes on your list.
No, there is not. Actually, no, there's one.
Oh.
One.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and
you'll hear it awfully soon.
And you will see in my list is not that one thing I noticed is that probably I follow a pattern of light. It's not much more of technology. The usage of light and the way that they directed light is for me probably the most important thing for my scenes. But who wants to start with that? Because I'm really afraid to say I'm the first one because I know that Jason is pretty sensitive of due to happen 2 episodes ago. But you want to start, Jason, or
I can start. I don't care.
You go, yeah, go, Colin.
Colin,
I'll go ahead and steal him. I don't care to offend Jason. If I take his, more power to him. So my number 5 started out actually on the West Coast out at Disneyland because we don't have it at Disney World. And well, we do, but not the same iteration of it. And it's Big Thunder Mountain's Blast Tunnel, but the one at California with the projection overlay because it's so much better. It feels like the mine is literally collapsing on you, and it looks like there's fire, and there's not fire. And I tried to get a photo of it. I've got one. I'm not proud of it, so I didn't share it. But some of these will get photos with them as well. But I don't know. I really like the way they do it out there. Honestly, their Thunder Mountain's better than ours. If I had to pick one over the other, I'd rather have the Disneyland one to ride. It's just a different experience. It's a little, I don't know. It just feels different when you're on it. And the atmosphere is a little different around it. So you've got the river in a different place and so on and so forth there. But it does set up differently, and it's a really fun attraction. But that particular scene is one of my favorites. And I didn't really believe people when they said it was that much better at Disneyland. It really does add quite a bit to the attraction.
Yes, for sure. Jason,
so
you want to go?
I was reading the other comments. Because people are starting to talk. Angela was talking about the leaping water inside of Splash Mountain, and
there's one for the dancing scene at the end of Mine Train.
The dancing scene, yeah, Dopey, and I love Dopey. He's my favorite. Okay, so mine. I think Carla should go next because.
No, go. You can
Chris
go.
Chris Shepard
no
thought you should go first.
No, go, my friend. Go, my friend.
Well, I feel like you're setting me up. Are you wait?
No, I'm not setting you up because actually is the.
I'm having trust issues, Carlos. I'm having trust issues.
You know what, friend? The way the way that is lined up in the stream deck is actually Colin, Jason, Carlos. So it's easy for me. I'm gonna get lost here.
Heaven forbid we deviate from the stream setup. That's true. Okay, so I will follow the machine's instructions and go next. So my number 5 is also on the West Coast in Disneyland. I think this happened in another top 5, right? So this only occurs. It's in the Haunted Mansion. And it's only Like a broken record.
Sounds familiar,
Disneyland's
doesn't it?
Haunted Mansion during the holiday overlay. Surprise, surprise. It's not the ballroom scene, but it is shortly thereafter. It is Jack Skeleton when you descend into the graveyard, and instead of seeing the gravedigger, you see Jack Skeleton dressed as Santa Claus. And there's something I don't know, like it's just so much fun. It's so like Christmassy and I'm not even like a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan. Like I enjoy it. But there's something about it all. Like it's just executed so well, and it's one of my favorite scenes. Maybe it's the scarcity of it. I just don't really get to see it that frequently either.
I can't comment on it.
I
It
can
was
comment,
closed
but
when
I
we were
trust.
asking.
I trust Jason. I can comment. I never experienced that.
That's a bad decision to trust Jason.
But I
Oh,
trust.
thanks.
No, he's a really good
That's how you
fan.
end up in places you don't want to be.
But we trust Jason when we did the whole
That's
experience
true.
of
He knows
Disneyland,
his
and
food too. I will give him.
Yes.
I'll give him credit
Oh.
for the food.
Oh, so there's exceptions to the do not trust Jason
Yes,
rule.
there's a
apparently.
few.
Okay. Well,
They're
that's
limited.
great to know. That's good to know.
My number 5. It is. It's not a big scene, but it's something that I probably was the first attraction scene I saw when I visited Disney World. And it's because the first attraction that I went to Disney World in July 1980 was the first attraction was Pirates of the Caribbean. And the scene that I like to take as my number 5 is right at the loading dock when you get into the little boats and you look to your right and you see that that pirate ship that is in the water in the dark with the little lights flickering. I'm
Way off in the distance.
way off into this. I'm crazy about that one. If I could take a
Do you
because
imagine yourself on the ship? Off in
I
the
imagine,
distance?
and it was little
Maybe we don't
Carlos.
wanna know.
Little Carlos
So
there
sorry.
was always imagining that, and that's the thing about the scenes is that you can kind of transport to there. I wish I was there, and I would do an honorable mention because was
Oh,
in
why
my
not?
list, but then you guys give a little bit of hard time yesterday when we start to discuss the show. So I remove it from my list and put it as an honorable mention, which is a similar scene. Is in a spaceship Earth, and is in when you have the scenes with the Phoenicians. They are in the boat, and you see in their back, you see a little bay with fires and the little cities and the lights flickering. It's almost the same thing. I wanted to be there. So
He's just throwing that in there because we're going to give him a hard time because we have no idea what he's talking about.
and then I ask you, my friends, to help me with
somebody in the
those
comments,
two.
see if
And
anybody else remembers this. 'Cause
if
I think you made
you've
it up.
remembered, because it's a little quiet bay. You see from the far, it's dark. You have the little cities flickering light, the Phoenician city. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's very descriptive.
Yes.
You sure
compared
there
to
aren't like
last
little
week.
floaters in your eyes or something? You're
No,
seeing?
no, no,
Like,
no,
it's
no,
not a no.
The ghosts that you see dead people.
But it
Other
is
than
almost the
Haunted
same,
Mansion.
and it's almost the same effect. You see, with the trying is mostly effect with light. You like that?
I
don't
have
believe
to
it, but I
because I
like
don't I don't know that I can. I mean, it's fun. Yeah, it sounds lovely.
It's
These
lovely,
phantom
it's
ships
lovely.
in the distance with interesting light effects.
Colin, you're number 2.
Are we, okay, so mine.
No, you're number 4.
Number
Number
four,
four.
yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
You're
I was
number
saying, how
4.
do I skip twice?
He's thinking about his dreamy little boat lights. It's good number
A little
4.
twinkle in the background.
Bring the. Oh my gosh.
So my number 4 is actually one that gets kind of a lot of crap. A lot of people don't care for this attraction, but I actually really like it because it's simple and it's kind of technologically advanced in similar ways. And it's Navi River Journey, that final scene there with the giant Navi on the end, which the video doesn't know justice. That thing is enormous, but the lighting in there is perfect. The animatronics near perfect as far as fluid movement, and it's just it's a good atmosphere. When you round that last corner, you feel like you're kind of in the movie, and you feel like you're just kind of been transported into an entirely different place. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to Animal Kingdom, Flight of Passage. Not Flight of Passage, Navi River Journey. Flight of Passage is totally different.
And you know one thing? Jeremy already helped me. I know what you're talking about, Carlos. Thank you.
I think
Thank
he's
you.
just saying that to make you feel better.
I think so too. But Jeremy also said, "Why is Carlos giving honorable mentions for his first one?" And Terry followed it up with, "Nope, I am without a clue about this flickering city behind the Phoenicians."
See?
I need some
And
help
Terry,
here.
I trust
If
too.
Terry
so.
doesn't know something in Epcot, it's probably not there.
I will take you guys there. I will take you next week, and we
Okay.
go. I'll take you, and I'll show that
Okay.
that's the scene. The problem is that you cannot
He's gonna make you
take a
sit next to
picture.
him. He's gonna be pointing at it the whole time.
It's like, "Look, it's right there. He's gonna take
What-
my picture."
yes,
Like,
like-
Jason, I don't see it.
Look at me. It's like when the kids like grab your face, your kids grab your face, like, "Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me."
Carlos, my nose is showing.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Jason, your turn.
Okay, number 4, also West Coast. Sorry. Disneyland. Pirates, but the very, very beginning, where you are moving, your boat is traveling through the bayou, going down the bayou. Like, I love that. I love it. And you're passing the restaurant, the Blue Bayou restaurant. You're passing, the little houses there. It's like I love that scene. I love it. I wish like there was an entire there was an attraction that was just like going down the bayou. Well, maybe we're gonna call that. Maybe that's the new Splash Mountain.
I was going to say, that's your Mexico boat ride, Jason.
No. But there's something, come on, there's something about the bayou. You guys know, like it is.
It's very unique.
It's unique.
And it actually kind of makes
So
the
relaxing.
story out at
But
Disneyland versus Disney World in comparison for Pirates of the Caribbean.
But
That
Colin,
adds so much.
do you notice that somehow he's trying to bring the Mexico and the whole thing
Again.
experience? Yeah.
I didn't bring it up. That was Colin.
He's got to find a way to make
Yes,
us
he's
think
gonna
about it so we
squeeze
mention
there.
it so he doesn't have to. Because, if he mentions it, then
But the
then we're
bio,
gonna give him a hard time.
the bio scene, it is special. It is and I don't know how you got that picture, Jason, because that is I always try to take a good picture that I couldn't. It is yours?
It's borrowed, Carlos. It's a borrowed picture. No, not mine. I don't have a $3,000 camera like some people. I have an iPhone. Okay.
My number 4. My
Or should we
number
go
4.
3.5?
He just threw me completely under the bus right there.
My number 4. It is in the Haunted Mansion, and it's also it's not a brand new scene or nothing too special. It's also an effect light, and I think that one everybody will remember, recognize. I'm talking about the candle holder by the end of the corridor, and you see that, and I always imagine walking in that corridor, how spooky it is, and it's I really like that one.
That's all right. When you get emergency evac off of Haunted Mansion, it's a whole lot less impressive. So don't wish to walk down that hallway.
When the lights come on, you see the little guy that like he's all dressed in black and he's holding the can. It's like a candle holding the stick. It's not as interesting.
But that scene is incredible. I don't know if you ever noticed that, but I think it's quite noticeable, and
The candles, the floating
Yes.
candles.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know what it is. I always
I
love
thought
that
of you
scene.
today.
Sorry?
I thought of you today when I saw the
Oh,
floating
okay.
candle. Yeah.
Oh, look.
Oh, look, they do exist. Unlike that other one that Carlos mentioned.
I was like, I don't see any Phoenicians though, and I was all confused.
Thank you. Well, let's do. But
Colin's number.
I will. I'll swear to you, I will record And you know one thing, I will wait to be with Colin, and we're gonna go, the three of us together. We're going to Spaceship Earth, and I will show that freaking scene. You will see.
Wait, I thought we were looking at a floating candelabra in Haunted Mansion.
Too, but the
Don't
Phoenician
throw us
scene.
off the scent here, Carlos.
We're following this one. It's fine. It's like a coon dog.
Number 3.
Colin.
All right, so I'm staying at Haunted Mansion, but I'm going on to the attic scene in the Haunted Mansion because it's creepy and it's very intricate. All the cobwebs and stuff. And I've actually been. This is the time that I got stuck in Haunted Mansion. We stopped in that room for about 20 minutes before they decided it wasn't going to start back up again and had us walk off of it. But even when the lights are on, it's impressive. And just the level, it's actually almost more impressive when the lights are on because the level of detail in the drawers and the cobwebs and all of the stuff that they have set up is far more. You don't notice as much when you're moving through it. But when you're sitting there for a while and you start to look around and you start to pick up on some of the more subtle details, it's like, wow, they really do put a ton of thought into this. And I mean, like, even like the wood checkering on the drawers and stuff is vastly intricate. And it's pretty cool to see that a lot of it's actual real stuff. It's not just facades and so on and so forth. But and then you have that kind of iconic scene at the end of that room on the left with the haunted bride, and just, I mean, it kind of makes the attraction, really fills in some of the story gaps, so it ends up being kind of mid on my list. Not near the top, not near the bottom, but right in the middle.
Beautiful.
It's a good scene. It's better when there's the overlay in Disneyland, I'm just going to say, but
don't go there with me.
And all the presents in the room, it's like the attic's full of these presents.
You're going to go back to the smell again?
And the present on the name tag of the presents, it's the name tag of an Imagineer's, like a family member.
Oh, that's cool.
All the Imagineers who work, or the cast members rather, who work on that overlay that year, they put a family member's name on the tag on a gift in that room. So each person who worked gets a gift to tag there in that room. It's really cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got to go back, Kate.
We do need to go back.
Jason.
My number 3. Now, this one's not a surprise. I mean, I think this is probably going to be a favorite scene for a lot of people. But it's when you are on Rise of the Resistance, when you are exiting the transport vehicle onto the Star Destroyer after you've been captured. And I'm not going to say any much more than that in terms of, like, I don't want to spoil anything. But that scene, when that door opens, there's a reason that's one of the when we talked about the one with Walt on Lou's podcast, that was. Am I keeping you up, Colin? Are you okay there?
For a long day.
when you walk off and the reveal is there and you're looking out into space and there's like this sea of stormtroopers, it's like, that's so amazing. Little Jason says like, this is crazy.
It's crazy.
Little Jason.
My number 3 actually used to be the Phoenician scene, and so I changed yesterday. But I will continue to be at Spaceship Earth, and I think also could be in a lot of people's list is the reviews, the Spaceship Earth review, but with Jeremy Irons' narration there. That was when your vehicle turn and you see Earth, and particularly when there was Jeremy Irons narrating the experience. That scene it's amazing. It's sad. Well, you don't need to take a picture of that, and you have to enjoy it. But that scene was.
But you can't, because it's not that way anymore.
Yes, you can. But that isn't seen. But I will include another. I'm not going to mention. There's something
what
that
are we doing here? What are you talking about?
Something.
He's got 7. He's going to add in one.
That is also the scene that comes by surprise like that. Is from the People Mover when you
this
just,
is a Lou
You
move
left
right
the park. I thought at least it would be like an honorable. Another scene on Spaceship Earth that I
but
really
it's
love.
the same
He's going
idea.
all the way to Magic Kingdom.
What I'm trying to bring is the same idea of I think it's the light. Probably I'm driven towards scenes with with light, and it is nothing too. Well, how can I say? It's not nothing too technological. It's probably black
How is
light.
this an honorable mention?
What the hell are you
This
talking
is a
about?
whole
Can
nother
I,
list
can I do that? I will tell you why. Actually, I
You even had
changed.
a picture. Honorable mentions don't get pictures.
It's the only one that I'd have to have picture. That's why.
Carlos.
Let me explain. Someone broke the rules earlier today because we're not supposed to have pictures. And then
Well,
suddenly...
you knew rules were meant to be broken on this show.
Wait, no. You can't say because Colin introduced pictures, and then
you can introduce four more.
no more honorable mentions. So
at an honorable mention in twice already, at least twice.
Carlos got a list of 7 already.
Wait, this is how an honorable mention could work, Carlos.
Chris is saying only Lou Mongello can do honorable mentions. No.
When you were describing your lovely Phoenician moment, right, with this mystery ghost ship off in the future somewhere,
Careful what you say here, Jason.
you would say, "Oh, and an honorable mention is that scene in Spaceship Earth when you get the reveal of the Earth, but only when Jeremy that would be an appropriate honorable mention. A little premature still, but still an honorable mention. What you just did here, this is like
That's pure sabotage.
this will go down in the annals of After Hours as being
When Carlos slipped in 6 more.
that
I will not
blood
do
was
that.
drawn. This is
I will
This is
refrain from doing honorable mentions for at
blood.
least for 5 shows.
That won't happen. We know that won't happen. There's no way.
Colin.
it's on.
And somebody's backing me in the comments. Colin can't not introduce pictures. It's in my nature. I have a pass on that one.
Colin, your number, which is number 2.
Well, it's number 6 for Carlos. So my number 2 is actually on the West Coast again, but it's at Disney's California Adventure. And they literally basically told me, you're not going to see this area until dark. And I'll give them credit. That was a good idea. And it was Radiator Springs Racers, but the scene when you actually go out into the canyon. And the picture I have actually isn't on the attraction itself, but they didn't want me to take pictures on that, and I appreciate that because I'm always the one that wants to take pictures of everything. Sometimes it's better just to enjoy it. But when you leave kind of the last room there and you actually go out into the canyon the first time, there's nothing that compares to that in the world of Disney attractions. There really isn't, because when you start sweeping the canyon, you have the waterfall and all of the different elements there, especially at night, and it's all lit up. It's a really special experience, and it was almost number 1 on mine, but I felt bad putting something from the West Coast as my number 1 pick for this week. But if you've been to California Adventure and you've been into Cars Land and seen Radiator Springs and the canyon in the background, it's a different level experience. I mean, when we were there, we sat out by the edge of it from when we were eating at Flo's, and just sitting there and enjoying that view, it's a lot of fun. We sat there for quite a while, enjoying a meal, and then, well, our 6th meal for that day. But it's a great spot, and if you ever get the opportunity to go out to the West Coast, if you haven't already, definitely put that high on your list. And I'd recommend actually not going in until it's night. Go back the next day and see it during the day, but at night it's really cool.
That dinner at Flo's,
that was fun.
That was amazing.
And we sat out there al fresco and it was so beautiful.
The weather was perfect. It was kind of low 70s that night. Carlos was wearing a sweatshirt that he bought at Disneyland.
It was so cold. It was so cold.
Our Miami friend over there was freezing, but
it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And we were so tired. We were so tired.
Yeah.
And that was the day that I had left because I had flown in from Orlando that morning.
Yeah, he had gotten there late.
And so what was
4 hours behind us.
3 hours behind.
Yeah, 3 hours behind. And then you were about an hour behind us getting into the park too.
It was 10 p.m. or so when we were sitting there eating.
So it felt like 2 in the morning basically.
Because I had gotten up at 4. I think at 3:30 to catch my flight. Anyway, it was.
He had slept 4 hours that day.
But it was so nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A
All
lot
right.
of fun.
My number 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
My number 2. We can go to my one of my favorite attractions of all time, which is Soarin', the original Soarin'. And we are going to be close to the end of the film is when you are flying over that Malibu beach. It's dusk and the surfers are out and I love it. What are you laughing about, Cars? So it's so peaceful.
He's probably laughing at the picture that you sent him.
Yes,
It's like the closest thing I could find to the beach. I didn't like that. You can't. No one can take a good picture, and you just shouldn't take pictures anyway on these attractions. But
I break that rule all the time.
I know, but they don't look like you're taking a picture of a screen. It's not going to.
It's
So
different,
this is
sure.
this is the best. This is the closest we can come in terms of the area and the kind of time of day and stuff. But I love that scene when you're flying out over the beach and then over the ocean. And it's dusk and it's just so peaceful and the music's perfect and the smells like take me back.
Says that, and for those that don't know, Jason lived in California for quite some time.
Yep.
Yeah, not that
And
long,
he
but
has-
enough that I had fallen in love with Soarin' when it was early. In
True.
Disney World.
True.
And we could experience the way that he gets excited with that attraction.
It's giddy. That's the
It's
only way
giddy,
that
yes.
describes it. Yeah. It's like a child
But
at Christmas. So he sat there with a big grin on his face the entire time when DCA had it for Food and Wine Festival out there.
My only regret and
Was
this
not
may-
riding it twice?
Oh yeah. My only regret is that so if I'm wearing sandals in the parks and I ride Soarin', maybe this is TMI, but I will take them off.
When has that ever stopped you before?
I take them off. I leave them on the floor, and so you're flying free. It's great, and you can feel the air rushing through your toes. It's
You
the
didn't
best
take off
thing in
your
the world.
pants, Jason. You took
No,
off
I
your
put
shoes.
the pants on. But
You're flying free.
someone out there, listen to me. Someone out there knows what I'm talking about.
Jason's flying free.
Flying free over there.
Someone knows what I'm talking about. Don't leave me hanging.
Cast members would
Oh my
appreciate
gosh.
that.
I'm telling you, the cast members, and it's cool because it's like, and then you return to the ground, and your shoes are right there.
Jason
you
fastened up his belt
yes.
again.
you just slip them right back on, and you go on your merry way. It's wonderful.
I'll take your word for that one. My shoes are staying on.
Well, then you're missing out on the experience.
Okay, I have to take something.
I'm glad I
for
missed
granted.
out on that experience.
Look,
with
Lisa
you.
Mylan says, I take my flip-flops off on Soarin'. I get it. See, now Jeremy thinks I'm streaking through Soarin', which is not
Exactly. Don't do that while I'm riding with you, that's for sure.
Okay, let's go to my second one. And for the second one, I'm going a little bit. That's the only one that I'm taking outside U.S. and actually the only one outside Florida. And we're going to Disneyland Paris, to the Phantom Manor, and I have to tell you guys that
Twice in 1 week?
twice in 1 week, but it is. I mentioned where. Oh, I meant no.
Yeah,
But,
Lou Show.
Yeah,
On the
I
podcast
give-
this week. Part 1
Yes,
of 2.
yes,
It's 3.5
it's true.
hours long.
It's true.
It's hard to remember everything that was said in the
But
podcast.
the Phantom Manor and the Lodi area. Let me just get the picture for you guys here. The Lodi area, it's amazing, but because the Phantom Manor is darker, it is the background story is really dark. It is all about the Melanie Ravenswood. She is the daughter of Henry Ravenswood, who is the owner of the Big Thunder Mining Company. And well, I will not spoil anything, but she's waiting forever for her groom. And the whole theme in the attraction is that it is intense, dark, and has the most beautiful score. The soundtrack is amazing.
It's like Titanic.
It's amazing. It's a little bit, yeah, but it's
But it's not a
I'm waiting
door at
for
the end.
Leonardo
It is.
DiCaprio to come down this. He would be at the bottom of the steps. That's right. She would be. Kate Winslet would be coming.
But
back.
it's that scene, because the whole queue for Phantom Manor is outside, and when you get into the house of that manor, it opens up to you like that loading scene with the stairway and with the bride there. It is beautiful. The all the lights and things like it is really great.
And there's an SEA tie-in out there too, isn't there? With
yes. Henry Ravenswood is related to the society. It is great.
Which is always fun to me. Brings so much more backstory to it.
Yes, and it is facing the way that the manor is facing Big Thunder in Paris. So there's a whole connection with the story there. It's pretty
cool.
It's pretty cool. And
That's
I
cool.
went there the day that I was there.
Well, I
was
hope
the way that the day I was there was actually October 31st. I was during Halloween there. It was also special.
Did they celebrate Halloween?
Yes, it was a big party there. It was nice, interesting. The whole experience in Disneyland Paris is special. It is just a really nice park. Okay, so Collin,
Are we on to number one?
you're number one.
Oh, whoa! I was sorry. I was bracing myself for the honorable mention, but it didn't happen.
Or
So.
the three honorable mentions.
No more.
So I'm going back to Pirates of the Caribbean, but instead of the little ship that Carlos talked about, I'm going to the big ship at the bottom of the hill. When you go into that final room, and there's, the bottom of the hill final room, not the end of the attraction room, but where they have the cannons and the full-size pirate ship and the smoke that kind of lingers in the air, and it's kind of a photography nuts dream. There's just enough light to kind of set the scene, but at the same time enough light to take a photo. And if you're really careful about it, it is doable, but it's very difficult. So it's always a good challenge. And one that's always fun is if you get the back row on Pirates of the Caribbean, if you turn around right when you're leaving that scene as it goes into the marketplace, you get a whole view of the boat, and you also can catch the cannons from both sides, which is really neat. It's a very difficult shot, but it's a lot of fun to try and kind of capture along the way. But it's one of my favorite scenes, and it has a unique smell to it, and there's not an equivalent in Disneyland. It's just a different experience out there. So that big cavernous room is always high on my list. In this case, it's the top of my list. But like I said at the beginning of this, I didn't really have a way of breaking down this list. I didn't have like a standout favorite. So that one ended up number one because it's one of my favorites at Disney World rather than including the West Coast.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
In Pirates today, and I took my friends who were with me on the lunch break today. We went on Pirates together.
Mm-hmm.
We just walked on,
Which is awesome.
We had the entire boat to ourselves. We sat.
That's when you kick up your
us in
feet, lean back.
Well, I'd take my shoes off, of course. No. They sat us in the center row. There's the three of us, and we had the whole boat to ourselves.
Which is
it was
awesome,
lovely.
Then you don't have
You
the
would have
guy
loved
with
it.
the flash camera in the back ruining every one of your photos. That happens to me every time I get on that. There's always some guy who doesn't know how to use his camera and has the flash on in every room. It doesn't help you, my friend. It doesn't help you.
It doesn't help.
It just washes out everything for everybody else on the boat.
Okay. My number one?
Yeah, Carlos. You
Yeah,
gotta
it's-
slide six more in.
Is it my number one?
No, yes,
My number one?
yes.
Is it me?
Oh, it's still your
What's-
number one. Yeah, because that was
What's
just
the
a
stream
comment.
deck? Just stream deck say. Okay, number one. My number one, and this is gonna maybe not be a surprise. In Epcot, Impressions de France. The like, it's not the very first scene, but it's like practically the first scene. It's the scene right after the Dover Cliffs. It's Impressions de France. It's actually not Dover Cliffs. Those are in anyway. I'm not going to try to pronounce the French here, but it's the scene where you're sort of in a little boat, kind of just floating down. There's like a theme emerging here, but you're in this little boat floating down the they call it a swamp, but it's like it's nicknamed the Green Venice in this area in France and La Rochelle, and it's just beautiful. The picture we're showing is of that actually isn't from Impressions de France, but it's of the same area, and you can take these little boat journeys down down the waterways, and it's on my bucket list. It's a bucket list. That is a bucket list item for me to be able to do that one day.
We have entirely different bucket lists.
That's why there's multiple buckets.
That just screams recipe for disaster to me. I
Why?
get the canoe, it's
Why?
going over. Probably.
No.
It's not even a canoe. Look how wide that is. What's like the widest canoe you've ever seen? Like it would be lovely.
The only thing I
Jason just
will
hates me 'cause I've
mention,
never been in that show.
and
Wait, what? Wait
You
a
knew
second.
that.
What?
We've
No, I did not
discussed
know
this
that.
before.
No,
I've
no,
never
no.
been in Impressions de France.
oh
Not
come
once.
on! I was about to
Not
say that
once.
it's been a long time that I don't go to the attraction, and I was
We
ready to
literally stood in front of
raise
it
his reaction,
one night,
but
like 11
you
o'clock and it
you
already
brought
closed. You're
something
like, "We're riding
totally
this."
different. Look, he's speechless now.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do. We've had this conversation, my friend.
I blocked it. It was dramatic
Clearly.
enough that it's.
Yeah, because it was like 10:30 because it was extra magic hours night, and we went back there and you're like, it's the last showing, and we didn't get through the door before they closed it.
And it's been a while that I don't go there, and now will be even much more difficult because most of the time that I will go to France, I will rather enjoy the Beauty and the
Don't.
Beach sing along.
Don't. Just stop. We should just move on. It's not-
Okay. Well,
Don't get him started on that.
it's
Boy.
mine.
I'll be in the bakery when he gets done with the show. Like,
My
I'll
number-
just wait on you there. Eat.
My number one is pretty obvious. I think is probably it's on a lot of people's list too, and it's flying over London and Peter Pan's flight again. I think I see a pattern of how they use the lights. I just think it's perfect. It's neat. There is a little bit of a preference for the same scene in Disneyland, but well, anywhere you go, it's beautiful. I love. This is my top one. I would not include anything, but I know, Jason, that you had an honorable mention that is in my overlays here. I don't know why you didn't want to mention that, but
Yeah, I mean, it was on my list too, and we both decided to pull it from our list.
Really?
Yeah. If it's the same one that was mentioned earlier.
What was yours? What was your honorable
The
mention?
Splash Mountain final scene.
Oh, the final scene. Yeah.
Final scene
I,
of Splash Mountain.
Yeah, I'm gonna post a video of that. I think up on Instagram either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I know it's controversial, and I know it's time for a change. And actually, I'm looking forward to having finally watched Princess and the Frog. Sorry, but I hadn't watched it, and I did watch it. And there's some of the songs I can't get out of my head.
it is amazing.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really looking forward to it. Because, I mean, the characters in that film are just great, and the music's great, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I won't say I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm not completely like disheartened about it anymore. I mean, what I am hoping for is that they bring the food with it. I hope we somehow get beignets and Magic
something.
Kingdom at the exit queue or something. I mean, we need, if you're gonna have a New Orleans themed boat ride, you have to have some beignets in that park. Preferably a full counter service restaurant, if you ask me, or table service. I'm not picky, but even a walk-up
like
window.
you have
I'll
a
take any of the
high
above.
quality Southern restaurant at the end of Splash.
That's true, but that would have improved it.
But it did strike me. Having written it today, it did strike me again
It's a
as
really
to how
cool
great
ending scene.
an attraction it is, and that's such a beautiful that final scene is
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful. It's just
Yeah, you
it's
take
just
everything out of context, it's hard not to like that attraction.
Yeah.
Yep.
agree.
It's just fun. I mean, at the end of the day, it's fun, and that's what we're there
I mean,
for.
but you have to
It's
wear
a lot of
blinders.
fun.
You have to wear social blinders, frankly.
Yeah.
The
To
only,
an extent.
the only thing about attraction is when you close to the end, you start to hear something different.
Well, there's that. Wait, yeah, there's that thing.
It's a little sound at the end.
Yes.
Did you catch it today, Jason?
Yeah, I think.
Oh God. Today
We've reached our 16th hour of this program.
Today we're going late.
Oh, look, now I'm on the left. How did that happen?
He likes to switch it up sometimes.
I don't know why, but at least we have the name right here. Jason, my
yes,
friend.
sir.
And today, thank you very much. Is this pretty special about that sound, and our friends will be delighted because everything that you hear from all the sound today was recorded today.
So every sound that you'll hear is from today in the Magic Kingdom.
Call it your little window to Magic Kingdom on opening day.
It was great. And let's see. What
Jeremy says, "Bring on the white noise generator."
You know, Jeremy,
we've already made it easier.
We kind of find out what we did last week.
No, they don't know the sausage making.
Yeah, but
yes, we fixed it. Let's just put it that way.
We think.
We think we fixed it.
Don't say that yet. We'll wait till the end of this segment before we say
we're gonna see it. We're gonna discover right now.
So let's do this first one.
In 1, 2, and 3.
I love that. I just love it. I love this part because we get to talk amongst ourselves. We can play one more time because somebody may have gotten it, but maybe. Here we are. Chris Shepard's Hubgrass. All right, Zach, dude. I don't know what is with your brain, man, but you've got supercharged superhighway neurons connected.
We need more specific than that.
Yeah,
it's gonna come that easy. We gotta be more specific.
No,
tell us in what minute I recorded that.
And Caleb came in right after that. Chris also.
Yep,
Lisa.
a lot of Splash Mountain. It was
Amber,
of course Splash Mountain
Angela.
is correct.
Need you to narrow it down to the room.
I don't know
if Jason even knows.
What of Splash Mountain? Saragoff says bees and Splash Mountain is actually not the bee scene, although I did record sound there too. But it's not that scene. Chris Shepard says first scene, second scene, third scene. My mom says at the end of the water ride. No, it's not. No, not zippity doo dah.
Little possums.
Play it again.
Mark Jones says the part after the second drop with the frog.
Not the frog.
No, not quite.
It ain't the frog. So no, it's not at the end.
Zach's trying to clarify his answer. He says, "Isn't that before the big drop in the dark?"
It is.
Which would be laughing place, correct?
So, no, it's not. It's not.
Well, the drop into the dark is into the laughing place.
So I mean, should we? I feel like we've. I mean, Splash Mountain is correct. So everybody. Got it.
Everybody got it right.
We'll give you credit for that.
So let's play that. Why don't we play the reveal and maybe let's see if that.
Then you explain. Yes.
Figure it out. Yeah.
So yeah.
Somebody said it's Jason speaking into the mic after breathing and healing.
I may have video.
It was Chris.
Like Jeremy says, "Good Lord, now we have to name which animal is talking."
Well, when you get it that fast, that's what you get, Jeremy. You can blame Zach for that.
That's great. So it's outside. We're outside and coming around the bend, and it's actually where they have the birdhouses and whatnot. And I have a picture. I think I may have some video of it too, but I don't know what they're called. But that's the theme. It's Splash Mountain. You got
just
Splash
said.
Mountain. We're just being kind of cruel. Yeah, it's Splash Mountain
Yeah, we gotta have a little more fun.
outside, but it's outside, and you can hear that final the screams. You can hear. That's kind of the clue that's outside. But I didn't give you that clue. So, what's the second song, Carlos? Or second sound?
Sound. The second sound from today. It is 1, 2, and 3.
That's pretty obvious.
That actually wasn't like that. That's not something wrong with the sound. That actually is the sound. Yeah, Christian. They're like houses. And they're birdhouses and nests. And anyway, so I'm gonna do it again. Do the second sound again.
In 1, 2, and 3.
Caleb says clock. It's not a clock. Sergoff says seance room. Jeremy says the Leota. Amber says haunted mansion. And Sarah says seance room again because she said seance Rio first. You know, we were pretty sure it wasn't a Brazilian answer that you were giving us.
Yeah.
But you're right. They're right.
Yes.
They're right.
Sorry.
They're right. It's the seance
Sorry.
room. You guys, like seriously, like you just wait. Can you just play the seconds? The clue sound, not the reveal. Just that again.
Yes. 1, 2, and
Just
3.
a little bit.
I mean, come on, people. Like, how is that possible? that fast? Like, seriously.
Shut
Okay.
up your game, Jason.
And
Let's do the
the review.
Rap on a table. It's time to respond. Send us a message from somewhere beyond. Goblins and ghoulies from last Halloween.
Yeah, and Jeremy says I would recognize that knock anywhere, and Mark Jones said Leota rap on a table, and Jeremy had said rap on a table. Yeah, good job, guys. Guess what? Next week.
It's getting
Next
harder.
week is payback, just for Carlos.
I will be there. I'll record it with you.
I'm saying now he has access to the park, so you know it's going to get even harder. Because now he's going to be looking for hard ones.
Oh, I got hours of sounds today. Fantastic. Okay. Let's do the next
On
sound.
to the third.
The next sound in 1, 2, and 3.
Sorry, little feller.
Wow, if you don't know who that is, we got big problems. When I played that earlier, when I was editing these at home, my dogs were like freaked out.
The same
What is
thing
that?
here.
They were like, what?
Oh my gosh. Look
Come
at-
on, Zach.
Yeah,
You're like.
We're going to banish him.
No.
You don't get your play
We love you,
anymore.
Zach. No, you're fantastic. But, like, this is just. It's like
Uncanny.
It's like there's Olympic athletes. Just imagine this, like a
And-
game of pickup basketball, but Michael
A few
Jordan like rolls
seconds-
into
a
your,
few
like,
seconds
basketball
after-
court.
A few seconds after Caleb also.
Caleb got it. Oh my goodness, Angela said Goofy Spartans, but that's not a bad look. That's actually
That's a good guess.
that's a good guess. That's probably what I would have said.
Zach says banish me to Disney.
Oh boy, look at all this PhilharMagic. Okay. Let's play the reveal.
Donald! Hey, Donald! Are y'all done up there? George, wonder where he went. Sorry, little feller.
It's such a great scene. And it's actually that's like the pre-show. It's like the little the bit you get before the show starts. And PhilharMagic is one of my all-time favorite attractions. I adore it.
That
I wish
surprises
they
me.
updated. I do wish they would update the quality of the film, but I love it. I mean, every time I laugh, I love it. Have you guys what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
For me,
know,
there's
funny thing to me
there's
is-
no drops, so I'm always there.
Well, there is a drop, but it's virtual. So, Colin,
Funny thing to me with 3D is like it seems like at first like it's really amazing, and then as the years go by, it's like this is less amazing.
I love
But
it.
it's
still
all
amazing.
comparison,
But the soundtrack is fantastic. The
That
effects,
is really good.
the animation's really really great. The story is really fun. I mean,
I'm to the point where I almost prefer Muppet Vision 3D, and I hate to say that. I love Muppet
No, I
Vision
think-
3D because it's corny and fun.
I love both. I love both. But today there's something different. Today we have a bonus sound because
That's right.
we got so
That's
happy
right.
with the fresh sounds for today that we have a bonus.
Did you shut it off?
No, it was already declined.
Oh.
You shut it off.
We totally shut it off. I loved that. Oh, I loved it so much.
We're not
I
gonna
love
play
that.
again. If it's enough.
It's long. I know it's
We're
long.
not gonna play it.
So,
Uh,
the worst
For some
part
reason,
is
it's one of the pop-up parades that no one
I
has
think
ever seen before.
I think that we already have one there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
I was looking. I was just looking because I was trying to get the actual name of it. So here's the thing. I'm not a parade person. Remember this. So I don't know if this music actually appears in some other parade.
I think
It
isn't
may-
it before Festival of
So
Fantasy?
Sarah,
if I
when she
remember
says
correctly?
music for the Grand Marshals of Festival of Fantasy, she
Yeah.
may be right.
I think she is right.
But it ain't Festival of Fantasy, Sarah, because there's no Festival of Fantasy today.
No, but then she got it
He's
right
getting
with the
specific.
character cavalcade.
Oh, she said that?
Cavalcade.
Yep.
Oh,
she got
boy.
you anyway.
Yes, that's fine.
So yeah, it was a pop-up. So I think we actually have. Do we have the video?
Yes, let's do
We
the
have
review.
video. We
Let's
have
do the
video.
review.
Look at that. We've plushed it today.
That felt so abrupt.
It
So
did.
I love these pop-up. I love these little pop-up parades. I love it. And that music, that particular sound, because it seems like that's one of those songs that they'd play in Disney Springs. Right, they change it up a little bit, but it has that kind of Disney Springs feel
yeah.
to it.
I'm
Yeah.
tracking now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the When Can I See You Again kind of
Yeah, like over by the bridge and stuff.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah. Oh, now I got that song in my head. Great. I have to listen to Wreck-It Ralph on the way home.
Just sing it. Just sing it and let it out. Just...
I'll roll the windows down. People will be like, "Was that Ralph?"
There he goes.
They'll never things people will never say.
His car isn't crushed.
So good job, guys. That was, amazing. And just wait until next week because we're gonna have some. We're gonna have some zingers because remember, not only do I have several hours of sounds recorded from today, but Epcot opens next Wednesday, And Terry,
They will be
bring
more
your A
difficult
game.
from Epcot.
What's that, Colin?
They will be more difficult from Epcot too.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
make sure of that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have something from the Mexico Pavilion.
No
Why not?
surprise there.
So thank you. That was great. You guys always impress me. It's incredible.
Okay, guys. So we're moving toward the end. Actually, we did the long show today.
Which is weird because it felt a little quicker, which is kind of odd.
Yep.
But
Well,
hey, at least
I'm
we're
ready to go to
consistently
bed. I
long.
don't know. I think everybody's just like waiting. Like, can we please just go to bed? It's been a very long day.
A lot of Disney content today.
There's a lot.
Kind of information overload, drinking from the hose.
Disney overload, which is the best kind of overload, frankly.
Yes, indeed.
But Jason, I just want to put you on the spot a little bit. Just talk about your content and what you're doing.
I thought it was like putting me on the spot. I thought I was getting nervous again, Carlos.
Before or after?
Before or after, yeah.
Here with the
It's
Magic,
coming. It's coming.
Very briefly, Here with the Magic is all about capturing those quiet moments of joy in Disney parks and Disney resorts and other related Disney spaces, and doing so through immersive video, sometimes 4K, sometimes 3D, 180, and virtual reality format. Tomorrow on the lunch break, because I do this little thing. You guys may want to check it out sometime. We do this lunch break live
There are a lot.
thing. Fridays and sometimes Thursdays when I'm in the Magic Kingdom. Tomorrow we're going to be watching a brand new video, which was filmed on Sunday over at Crescent Lake in the Epcot Resort area, and it's interesting, and it's unique because there wasn't a lot going on, and so it's beautiful, it's peaceful, it's Crescent Lake, so and Boardwalk,
It's great.
it's wonderful. But hopefully I'll never get an opportunity like that again, because I'd like there to be more people. We need people. So tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, here with themagiclive.com. I'd love to have you there. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be posting videos and pictures in Instagram tomorrow as well. And you can find me over at instagram.com/herewiththemagic. Would love to have you there. Love to see your pictures too. So message me or follow me, and I'd love to follow you back and see what you're doing. Who's next? Colin?
Sure. So you guys know the drill at this point. Mostly guide4wdw.com. You can find me anywhere by that. Give me a shout on Instagram. It's typically where I'm the most active. Not as much on Facebook as I used to be, but Facebook community is the Guide4WDW community. But really, Instagram's kind of my strong point right now, especially with photography-related things. I've also got the shop that launched not too long ago, guide4wdw.com, just /shop, simple as I could make it, and where you can pick up prints from some of my photos, have them shipped, have them a little window of your world. If you can't make it back to Walt Disney World this year, or if you don't choose to for any number of reasons, you can still have a little piece of Disney wherever you are, and that's kind of my mission with all of that. Hopefully, new content coming to the site here as the parks reopen and we get more stuff flowing out. I don't feel as bad now that parks reopen to share travel planning tips and stuff like that. Hopefully, new content coming here real soon. Hopefully, sooner rather than later.
And,
Carlos?
Well, you also know most of my content is in Portuguese, and you can find me at Ponto Orlando and also at Ponto Miami. If you're thinking about visiting South Florida, I will be more than happy to share you some amazing experience here too. But one thing I like just to mention is that a lot of you already follow me in Facebook, and it's so fun when I do my Ponto a Ponto live every Tuesday night, and it's more than often now that you can see my friends from here, from the after hours, showing up there. So it's always funny because, well, I hope you understand a little bit. If not, message me and I'll be more than happy to teach you Portuguese. But thank you very much. It's always so good, so lovely to see your friends showing up. Who was the one? The last time was Mike Rayleigh showed up there. So sometimes we have Caleb showing up too. So thank you very much. Well, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
As always, we appreciate you being here. It's a lot of fun. It's something that kind of gives us a break every week. We enjoy this as kind of a high point of our week, and we hope you do too. If you do enjoy it, we invite you to invite a friend. Bring somebody else into this community because it really helps us.
Yep.
It also helps grow this community so we can do more fun things in the future, possibly call-in shows, possibly events. Who knows? Sky's kind of the limit on that. But we need your help to help grow the community before those opportunities present themselves. And if you enjoy it, why not have another Disney friend here? The more the merrier. We have a lot of fun with it. And at the end of the day, we're all about the community. I mean, none of us are turning $1 on this. We're just having fun. We're enjoying some time with friends. So thanks for being here. Thanks for coming back every week. So many familiar faces. Drop a like on the post if you enjoyed it. That helps us out on Facebook to reach some more people. And as always, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I do want to add one more thing.
Sure.
I forgot to mention tomorrow on the lunch break, it's Fun Shirt Friday.
Ooh.
Oh.
Just a reminder, you may want to show up in your fun shirt tomorrow.
There you go.
There you go.
More incentive to show up.
Celebrate
see what kind
the
of
end of
shirt
the week.
Jason's wearing.
Thank you. One thing I just said, I need to add, there's so many friends from Brazil that show up today. For them, it's late. And also the friends from UK that were here. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. And it's time to go to bed.
Or get up.
Or get up.
Whichever you prefer.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Have a good one.